What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Full Blitz podcast. As always, I'm your host, Big Easy, and with me, always and forever, the digital doctor himself.
The digital doctor. I need to start wearing a stethoscope.
See,
I'm next time. Next time y'all see me next week, I'm gonna be in a white coat. And
it's a good thing he works behind the scenes, y'all, because this is why we limit his screen time.
Nah.
What's going on with you, though? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. You know, enjoying. It was a nice day today in Southern California. The sun was shining.
I feel like that's like y'all script. You know, beautiful
day
in Southern California.
It was raining this weekend. You know, that's rare.
Well, y'all need the rain out in Southern California.
It was a little wet. I mean, I guess.
It's just leave it to the people.
We got the ocean. We don't need no rain.
You know something?
Remember, I'm right on the Pacific, so
I can't.
I'm closer to. I'm in San Diego, so I'm not. You know, it's interesting. If you drive like 30 minutes in to like east, away from the ocean, temperature, it gets so much hotter. So it's way different than the East Coast, though.
So when I was stationed,
it's like the desert.
When I was stationed out in California, when I got injured, I had to go to San Diego to get a knee surgery done. And when I tell you, I feel like when you drive into the county of San Diego, it's like driving into its own atmospherical bubble. It is crazy.
It's amazing. Where did you drive? You drove or?
Yeah, because I was in the Mojave Desert, so I was right in between LA and Vegas.
Okay, so you drove. Did you take the PCH? Did you take the highway along along the coast?
My man, this was 12 years ago. I can't remember what I did yesterday.
There's this opening when you get it's this area called Torrey Pines. If you're going down that highway from LA or up north, and you getting to San Diego, that's like right getting into San Diego, and there's this opening that opens up, and it's the most incredible view.
It's like, welcome to San Diego.
It's just like boom, and it's the ocean, and it's mountain, and just incredible.
I mean, San Diego's beautiful.
Places like that.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Now, I think, talking about California, I went to Big Bear too. Big Bear is, if you haven't gone out there,
see, I haven't done that yet.
Man, Big Bear was beautiful. So, and speaking of if y'all haven't done anything yet, if you haven't, make sure to drop us a subscribe on YouTube. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all platforms. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok. Drop us a like, share, comment, follow. Help us push this thing as far as we can go.
Yes, sir.
So we got a good show for y'all this week. Crazy week in football. Just in general, whether it's college, whether it's NFL. So I decided we were just going to run through a show with college and NFL because we got the college playoffs coming up. Teams just in the NFL went berserk with teams you thought weren't good, started playing well. I mean, it was just a crazy week in football. So we're going to jump in this week, starting with college football. It was insane. Just watching not just the SEC, but the Big Ten, watching the Big 12 was, we're going to get into that, but that whole thing is just a mess. So, but we got to start with the SEC because that's where my school is in the SEC, but we're not talking about them because we only talking about teams that are on their way to the SEC title game and teams that could potentially find themselves in the college football playoffs. Now, with a absurd loss to Oklahoma, Alabama has locked in Georgia's ticket to the SEC title game. That's right. Alabama somehow, now I get it, OU's, kind of one of them teams that people thought were going to be good coming into the year, but they really just didn't pan out. I think they underestimated how tough an SEC schedule can be, which isn't surprising. But Alabama just, I don't know what they did. They went out, they scored first, got the field goal, and then just laid an egg. Wound up losing the game 24-3 in a blowout. OU hadn't been able to run the ball all year, and I think they rushed for almost 200 yards. I don't know what happened. I think Milroe threw 3 or 4 interceptions. Very uncharacteristic of Alabama, but maybe this is the Alabama that we need to get used to seeing, which means you Alabama fans, y'all are no longer going to be spoiled. Y'all are no longer guaranteed a spot in the SEC title game. Y'all are no longer guaranteed a shot at a national championship every year. Now you along with everybody else. You are now a normal team. You're a normal fan. Okay? Especially with the addition of Texas and OU. I do think OU will be better next year. Texas has already shown that they're going to be just fine in the SEC. But moving on to the SEC title game, because what we got is we have Georgia locked in. They're staying there. They're going to Atlanta, going right around the corner for the SEC title game. They're going to play the winner of either Texas or Texas A&M. They play this week. The winner of that game punches their ticket to the SEC title game. And in my opinion, if Texas A&M doesn't win this game, I don't see a chance that Texas A&M makes it into the college playoffs. I think they have to make this game, and they may even have to win. They may have to win the SEC to get into the college playoffs. Now, if they go and they play Georgia tough, and it's a 3-point game, a 5-point game, they could still get in at an at-large bid, but we'll see, because you still have teams out there like Tennessee and other teams in the SEC that we'll talk about later in the show. But for your SEC people, that's what you can look to. You can look to either Georgia and Texas or Georgia and Texas A&M meeting in Atlanta for the SEC title game. Now, a scenario that's a little bit easier to figure out is the ACC. I got to give all the props to this school, SMU, okay? First year in the ACC, and what do? They come out and clinch a spot in the ACC title game before the last week of the regular season. All the props in the world to SMU. They're 10-1 overall. They're undefeated in the ACC. Mad props. They came out and played ball. Now you can say whatever you want. Oh, it's the ACC. You know, they don't really have any teams or anything like that, and you would just be outside your mind to think that that's actually an accurate statement, because the ACC has teams that I think people forget are good. You know, you have Clemson, you have Miami, you have Louisville, Georgia Tech, who's been surprisingly good this year at 7-4. Duke has been very good at 8-3. Now they have a bad conference record at 4-3, but then you got Syracuse has played really well. They're 8-3. You know, Syracuse has an opportunity this coming week to really upset Miami. If Miami's going to the Orange, okay, they're going to Syracuse, and if Syracuse beats Miami, Clemson's in. You know, now Miami, Cam Ward, you know, he's been off a little, if you ask me. You know, looking at the way he played earlier in the year when he had all these Heisman hopes and everything like that. Now, I get it. Travis Hunter is pretty much locked up the Heisman Trophy. Cool. You know, but Cam Ward is still a very dangerous quarterback in the pocket and outside of the pocket. So we'll see. But a guaranteed win over Syracuse, that is not. So we're going to be looking at SMU locking up a spot in the ACC title game, their first year. Congratulations to them. And they're going to be either playing Miami or Clemson. Those are the 3 teams in the mix. Well, really 2 teams, because SMU has already got it locked up. So we'll see what happens there with the ACC. Moving on to the Big Ten. You know, the Big Ten is funny to me. Because you got Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana, all of which are playing really good football, and all of which have an opportunity. Well, Indiana, I mean, we'll see. Now personally, I think we're going to get a repeat of or a rematch of Oregon and Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. But listen, Indiana is sitting there at 10-1 overall. You have Penn State at 10-1 overall. So there's two other teams that could get in if Michigan finds a way to beat Ohio State, if Oregon goes down. So it's not like it's just locked up that, that's the case. Well, I think Oregon's in. Oregon's undefeated, so Oregon's in. So it's going to be between Ohio State, Penn State, and Indiana on who gets to play Oregon. It's Ohio State, right? Do we really think Michigan, with the record and the overall team that they've had this year? I mean, they're sitting at 6-5 overall, 4-4 in the conference. Do we really see them going into the horseshoe and beating Ohio State? Now, I get it's a rivalry game. It's a massive game. Anything can happen. But let's be real, y'all. Come on. I don't see it happening, so we're going to call it what it is. We're going to get a rematch of a game earlier in the year, Oregon, Ohio State. Oregon did win that game, but it was a back-and-forth game. It really was who had the ball last. So it'll be interesting to see if Oregon is able to win again, and it'll also be interesting to see what happens, again, as we talk about the college football playoffs coming up, if Ohio State wins. Is Oregon a lock? I think Oregon's a lock. One win Oregon, or one loss Oregon would be the only loss they have to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. I think they're a lock, right? They probably are. So we'll see what happens as we get into the conference championship week. Now, the conference that not even gonna lie, I can't figure it out. I don't know if this person beats that person, if winning, percentage, point differential, common opponent. I have no idea, and that's the Big 12. What I do know is if Arizona State University, ASU, Sun Devils, beats Arizona, big rival game. Okay, that is a massive rivalry game. It's been very good games over the last few years. If ASU beats Arizona, they have clinched a spot in the Big 12 championship. Now you have BYU, you have Colorado, you have Iowa State. The other three teams that, in my opinion, are probably the best bets. But, what are we looking at? We're looking at 1, 2, 3. We have three teams all overall 9-2. And then when you go to conference records, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 teams at 6-2, and then 2 other teams at 5-3, which is Baylor and Kansas State. So I don't know how that's going to shape out. I have no clue. Now, what I think is probably going to happen is I do think ASU is going to take care of Arizona, which will lock them into their spot in the Big 12 championship game. And, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it. I don't know why, but I like Iowa State. I don't know if they're going to be able to get in over BYU because of point differential, common opponents, but we could also see a Arizona State University and Colorado. I don't know. I think maybe BYU and Arizona State University would be the best, primarily because Arizona State has just been on a tear lately. They were not supposed to be here. They were not supposed to be in position to be in a title game. They just came out of nowhere midway through the year, started tearing it up. Everybody else was losing. I mean, we'll see what happens. But give me Arizona State to win the Big 12. And because Arizona State wins the Big 12, I think that opens the door for other teams. Now, Boise State in the Mountain West, they went out. They will get the 5th automatic bid. So that's very easy right now. Boise State loses, and we have some other craziness within the Big 12 in the last week, which we very well could, if Tulane goes on, wins their next game, and then beats Army in their conference championship game, we could see a scenario where Tulane would get into the college playoffs. And this isn't because I'm from New Orleans. This isn't because of any of that. It's simply because Tulane's football program over the last few years has been in an upward trajectory. I'd like to see Tulane in the playoffs. People would be like, oh, they're going to get blown out. They don't have the talent. They can't run with the other schools. Hey, look, they only lost by, 15 to Oklahoma? Okay, and every team can have a bad game. I'm not saying they would win. I'm not even saying it would be a good game. What I'm saying is the committee has to start valuing these other conference championships. It's like, especially when we get to 14 and 16, because they're talking about expanding it to 14 and 16 teams. When we get to 14 and 16 teams, why can't the Sun Belt, Mountain West, why can't they get automatic bids regardless of where they're ranked? Now, I get the football. I get that people are worried about the competition. I get that people are worried about whether, they're going to tune in and watch. That shouldn't be. I know it is, right? Because ultimately, college football is a business. It's about making money. And I do understand that. But at the same time, these kids play their ass off. And they come to college and they play football with the understanding that if you meet certain criteria, you'll have an opportunity to play for a national title if you play within the, FBS, FCS, things like that. Well, they do. And if they win their conference championship, they should have a shot at the playoffs. It's just that simple. I think that it's that simple. I think that in fairness, they should get in over a at-large team simply because the at-large team has a better record. Well, that at-large team didn't win a conference championship. That's how I feel about it. I'm going to leave it there. Tell me what y'all think. Drop me a comment. Light into me if you think I'm wrong. Agree with me if you think I'm right. Okay? We comment back. All right? So let me know what y'all think. With all of that being said, here is what I feel is going to be the 12-team college football playoffs. I think Georgia will beat whoever they play because Carson Beck has been on a tear the last 2 weeks, okay? And I'm telling you, I said it in last week's episode. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. All of the episodes are out on YouTube and all other platforms right now, okay? Go back, watch it. I said it. When Carson Beck is playing at his best, Georgia is damn near unstoppable, okay? They go as he goes. When he's out there throwing picks and, just playing stupid football, they struggle, okay? But when he's on his game, like most quarterbacks, Georgia's damn near unstoppable. Now, ETN is hurt, but they have other running backs. So I think that Georgia will be just fine, and I do think Georgia will win the SEC and get the automatic bid. Give me Oregon for the Big Ten. I think Oregon's going to take care of business. I think they're going to beat Ohio State again in the Big Ten championship. I think they're going to remain number one, and I think they're going to go into the college football playoffs as the number one team in the country. Give me the ACC. Give me SMU, baby. I'm so high on SMU right now. Give me SMU to beat Miami in the ACC title game. And then they will get their automatic bid. Y'all don't believe me? Go watch some of their games. Go watch the way their players play. I'm telling you, their defense plays with reckless abandonment. Their offensive line moves people. As an offensive lineman, I love it. I love watching a team come into a new conference, people talking that shit, and they just say, what's up? And they hit you with haymaker after haymaker after haymaker. Let's get it, SMU. I'm riding with you all the way to the college football playoffs. I don't think Boise State loses, which means I do think Mountain West gets a champion into the college football playoffs. So give me Boise State and that ugly ass blue field. I don't care what none of y'all say. I can't stand that blue field to save my life. I can't stand it. And then I do think the Big 12 will get a champion in, right? As much as I would love to see Tulane in, I do think that the Big 12 gets their champion, and it is ASU. I think that they're one of the hottest teams in the country right now. I don't see a way that Arizona beats them other than the fact that emotions run high in rivalry games, so who knows? And then I do think with the way that they're playing, they will beat whoever they see in the Big 12 championship game. With that being said, if they do somehow see Colorado, I could see Colorado possibly winning, but I'm still going to ride with ASU. Now, y'all all know there's 5 automatic bids. After that, there is the 7 at-large teams. All right. Notre Dame is going to be there, right? They're an independent team, which is why they can't get an automatic bid because they don't have a conference championship game. But they're still, I believe, the number 6 ranked team in the country right now. So, I do think that they are going to wind up in the playoffs because I don't see them losing. They're the 5th ranked team. I'm sorry. They're the 5th ranked team in the country, and I don't see them dropping their last game. After that, of course, I do think Ohio State. I see a 2-loss Ohio State team getting in. I don't see where they leave Ohio State out. Unless maybe Ohio State just gets absolutely dog walked somehow, but I just don't see it. Then give me Penn State. I think the Big Ten gets 3 in. I think they get Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. And I'm going to surprise y'all with this one. They might get a 4th. Indiana might sneak in, right? I don't know what's going to happen with the way they rank them and how they look at Indiana's strength of schedule or anything like that versus, a 3-loss SEC school. So that'll be interesting. But Penn State gets in. I think Texas is going to get in. I do think that Texas beats Texas A&M. I think Texas plays Georgia. And I think Texas is still going to get in. I find it hard to see the 2 SEC teams that go to that championship game not making it in. And then give me another SEC school, Tennessee. I think Tennessee's just going to finish in the rankings high enough is really what it comes down to for them. I think that they've played really good football. Nico is a baller. So it'll be interesting to see. But I do think Tennessee will get in. So that'll be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so give me 3 SEC schools. All right. And then to round it out, I do think Miami gets in. I think them losing in the championship game is going to help them. And then when you look at the other teams that are potentially in the mix, I don't see, they could drop Miami. Miami's like one of those teams. Yeah, it could be a 2-loss ACC school that do they bounce to put, Alabama in, depending on how Alabama plays in the last week. Do they bounce them to put Ole Miss in? I don't see that happening, but it could. It very well could. Okay. But as y'all can tell, this is why we're just doing football. There's so much going on, and this is a great time of year. You got the final season of the final game of the regular season coming up. A lot of those games are very important. With the Texas and Texas A&M game is massive. The Michigan and Ohio State game is massive. So I love this time of year. And then you have the conference championship week coming up, which we're going to talk about next week. It's just great, y'all. College football is amazing. And it is one of those things that you just got to watch. You have to be a part of. I love it. Nobody can tell you different when you just love college football. You know what I mean? But that's college football for this week, y'all. We're gonna keep up with everything. Make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I'm gonna give you weekly updates on there, and on Saturday, I'll be jumping on there, making some videos, letting y'all know what's going on, just in case you can't check out the games for yourself.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking to host a small get-together or have a company Christmas party coming up? Goodfellas Gaming has you covered. Offering casino-style parties of any size and for any occasion, Goodfella Gaming has all the go-to casino games: blackjack, roulette, poker, and craps, and even a few of the specialty games like Pie Gal, Money Wheel, 3-card poker, and Let It Ride. Not looking for a casino party? No worries. They have a large inventory of arcade games and bar games, pool tables, air hockey, pinball machines, and many more of the popular arcade games like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Big Buck Hunter, and Super Bikes, and many more. Head over to goodfellagaming.com for a free quote today. And don't forget to let them know the guys at the Full Blitz sent you. All right, welcome back out of the break, guys. Coming out of the break, like I told y'all, we're going right into the NFL. This was probably one of the craziest weeks I've seen in the NFL, just between the teams that are kind of in the bottom of the league right now going against teams in the top of the league. Some winning, and then some just like barely getting it done. We're going to just start from the beginning of the week in the NFL with the Browns versus the Steelers. First thing, okay, if you didn't get to see this, okay, now, Louis, you ain't got to put it up on the screen or nothing, but the first half of the game looked like it was summertime. By the time the game ended, we was in Antarctica. Okay, it was insane. Now, there were weather reports that winter weather was coming and everything like that, but it was just crazy to see it, to see where we started.
That fast, yeah.
It was bananas.
That's wild.
So the game clearly, was affected by, in my opinion, what I would call a blizzard. Okay. But Russ had a good game. He didn't have a bad game. I think he went 21 of 28, so it wasn't a terrible game, but it was weird. The game itself, was weird. It was almost like it was too little, too late for Pittsburgh. They go into the fourth quarter down by 12. And they go up 19-18. And the problem was Pittsburgh had a shanked punt, that I think only went like 19 yards at the worst possible time. You just can't. I mean, I get it. Punters are players too. They have bad plays. They have bad games. But it was a bad time to have that kind of play, because that really set up Cleveland. They were able to go down. Nick Chubb was able to get the ball into the end zone with like 56 seconds left, and I give it to Russ. He put up a heave at the end. But again, just a team that's in the top of their division and losing to a team that's not playing all that well. I mean, Cleveland is still in play for the number one pick, and they're able to. It's a divisional game, rivalry game. The AFC North is it's always, each of those games are always just crazy. But how much did the weather play a factor in that game is what I want to know. Would Pittsburgh have been able to win the game had the weather not gotten bad like that? Because they would have been able to kind of maybe stay a little more true to the way they want to play football. But hats off to Jameis Winston. It's so nice to see Nick Chubb back after that really bad injury last year. So it's really nice to see some of these players starting to come back and get healthy. Chicago, again, goes out and has a good game through the air. So the new OC is finding his way around, and somehow Chicago, just like last week, can't get it done. Now, Sam Darnold is had a good game, but the two people that really blew the game open, and we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings here, if you didn't know, was Sam Darnold, Chicago versus Minnesota. You would think off the rip, oh yeah, it's gotta be Jet. It's gotta be 18, right? It's gotta be Jefferson. Wrong. Jordan Addison had a day. I mean a day. 2 touchdowns, 8 catches for 162 yards. And then TJ Hawkinson, tight end, has 114 yards. I mean, to me, that's what's scary, is when the Vikings can go out and play complimentary football and Justin Jefferson is not a part of that, because then when he becomes a part of it, that's an offense that who do you go, like, who do you try to stop? Who do you try to take away? There really isn't anybody you can take away, because it's you try to take this person away, then that person goes off. But the Vikings get the win in OT. They keep up with Detroit in the NFC North. Detroit still has a 1-game lead, but they're keeping up with them. A team that I hate giving shine to just because they drive me absolutely insane, but I have to give them they shine, is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys went out and played a really, again, a weird game. I think the score was 9-10 going into the fourth quarter, and then we put up 41 points in the fourth quarter. Between the two teams, we put up 41 points. They get the win against a very, very good Washington Commanders team. Divisional game. Commanders are trying to keep pace with Philly. I think at this point, with what we saw from Philly last night, we'll get into that. Philly's just probably going to run away with that division here, but that doesn't mean that Washington can't still get a wild card, and it doesn't mean that Washington's not a good team, okay? But for Dallas, you had Cooper Rush out there just doing his thing. I get he's a backup, but if you look at the other games that he's played, I think Cooper Rush he's got like 5-6 wins as a starter. If I have that number wrong, correct me in the comments, y'all. But all he does is win. As a backup, all he does is win. The run game looked better for Dallas. Now, the numbers don't really show that in yardage, but I felt like watching the game, they were able to move the ball. Dowell did a serviceable job. I think Dallas needs to get a running back. I think they need to get a cowbell. I think they need to get a running back that is going to help carry that offense, to make the play action a little more scary. Just something to help Dak when he comes back. If he comes back this year, if he doesn't come back till next year, he's on IR right now. We'll see. But the running game looked better. What really looked good for Dallas was their special teams. They had 2 kick returns for touchdowns. Now, granted, one of them was an onside kick right at the end of the game. The team probably would have liked that player to go down. But Washington goes down, scores a touchdown, and on the upcoming kickoff, Dallas takes it to the house. Just, house call. I think it was like 102 yard. No, it was like 100 yards because he actually muffed the kick to begin with. So, kudos to Dallas. Kudos to Dallas for getting that dub, going out there playing a tough game and coming through in the fourth quarter, with special teams, with defense, but I've said it, and I'm probably going to say it all till the end of the year. Even with everything Dallas did, Jaden Daniels is just special. He is just special, y'all. They're down. I think there's like 36 seconds left. What does he do? Moves around in the pocket, buys a little time. Bam. Hit Scary Terry. And guess what? There you go. I mean, not Scary Terry. I'm sorry, McLaurin. Sorry. For I think a 70-yard touchdown. And as the game is 20, 30 seconds away from being over, he's special. He got it done with his legs this time. I mean, watch out for Washington is all I'm saying. Washington is going to be a significantly better team as they continue to move forward. They're only going to continue to build around Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler. I think he got hurt. But I'm so impressed with Jaden Daniels. I was impressed with him at LSU. I'm impressed with him now in the NFL. So yeah, just really impressed. Team that a team, like as in a whole, that I'm really impressed with is the Carolina Panthers, man. Yo, Carolina came out swinging. They gave the Kansas City Chiefs all they could handle. Okay. I mean, I'm so impressed with Bryce Young. Young quarterback gets benched, and he could have easily fell within himself. He could have easily said, oh, they don't like me. He could have easily asked for to be traded. He could have easily done all kinds of things. But what did this do? What did this kid do? What it looks like he did was it looked like he got his ass into the tape room. He got with Andy Dalton. He got with his coaches, his teammates, his veteran teammates. Because I tell you what, the Bryce Young we've seen over the last 2-3 weeks has looked vastly different than the one we saw in the beginning of the year. This is the Bryce Young that looks comfortable. He finally looks like he's comfortable in the system. He finally looks like he's getting comfortable reading the defenses. He's doesn't seem so jittery. He looks like a much better quarterback. Now, when you got Chuba Hubbard running the way he does, that obviously helps, right? When you got a cat, number 30, in the backfield that can move the ball the way Hubbard can, it's obviously going to help a young quarterback. Everybody knows that. Nobody is saying that the pieces around him aren't going to help, right? They're obviously going to help. But I think it's time that we give him credit. The first week he played better than when he came back. The second week he played even better. And then yesterday, the dude played really good. He played a very good game. Let me look this up so y'all can know what. So Bryce Young goes 21 of 35 for 263 yards and a touchdown. Okay. He got sacked twice, but that's okay. And he also ran 3 times for 20 yards. So this is a kid that is getting comfortable. He's understanding the playbook. He understands what he's doing. And I think that bodes well for Carolina because Carolina's got a lot of really good and a lot of really young talent. Xavier Legette is the truth. If you haven't watched that kid, go watch his tapes from South Carolina and watch him now, okay? For a rookie, he has played very well. He gets himself open. He's a big target. He can win 50-50 balls. He's got breakaway speed. Xavier Legette is going to be a very good wide receiver in this league for a long time. The problem was they went up against Kansas City. And Kansas City, as a team, finally looked good. Mahomes finally, we all been saying it. We've been waiting for Mahomes to have this breakout game. Well, 27 to 37, 269 for 3 touchdowns. Now, he did get sacked 5 times. But, he also ran the ball for five times for 60 yards. So, Mahomes, it started to look good. He also completed 9 passes, or he completed a pass to 9 different receivers. That's moving the ball around, okay? That is absolutely moving the ball around. And the run game, I'm looking for Pacheco to come back. I'm excited for him to come back. But Kareem Hunt has really been carrying the load. It's his second stint with the team. He left the first time because of some issues. And he came back and he was like, yo, I'm all business. And I'm not going to lie, he looks all business. And when you pair that with Isaiah Pacheco, who is a very good running back. I think you're looking at a backfield in Kansas City that is going to be really good. I mean, just really good. So they'll be exciting to watch. They'll be exciting as we move forward, as always. But they did need a last-second field goal to win 27-30. And, I mean, again, a team at the bottom in Carolina going against the best team in the AFC, and they need a last-second field goal to win. Keeping with that, trend, and I'm so happy. I get to say this. Hold on, let me. The Titans got a dub, y'all. The Titans got a dub, and not just a dub, but they got one against the Texans, baby. Division rivalry. That's what I'm talking about. So stoked to see that game. Watched every bit of that game. And let me tell you, I hear people and I watch people type shit and I see them put it online about how the team should tank for the number 1 pick. They're not playing for nothing. Hell no. I want my team to fight. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want to see my team, my players, and my coach play. The city still wants to see you win games. The people coming to them stadiums to see you play wants to see you win games. And guess what? That's what they did. Super excited for that game. Okay. Will Levis, outside of one errant throw, which turned into a pick 6, which he's got to stop. He has more pick 6s by himself than like half of the league. But he did go 18-24, 278 yards, and 2 touchdowns. My problem with Will Levis yesterday was he got sacked 8 times. And from what I counted, 4 of the 8 were because he stepped up into the pocket, into the defenders. He's got to get better at reading the pocket, feeling pressure, knowing which ways to move. You've got to be able to move within the pocket if you want to be a pocket passer. It just is what it is. But he played better. He looked better. So if that's a trend moving forward, super happy. Not just that, but the Titans scored 32 points. I think this is the second time this year that we've scored more than 30 points. So there's that. Other bright side to us winning, Tony Pollard. Man, I've been talking about Tony Pollard since the beginning of the year. I miss Derrick Henry, obviously, but you know something? Tony Pollard has been fantastic for us. He had 119 yards last year, and he also leads the league in yards after contact. And that's saying something because everybody thought that we were going to lose this power running game that Tennessee has. Well, it looks like we didn't lose any of it. It looks like it's still all right there. So, and Tajay Spears is still healing up from injury. Chestnut came in and had he does really well on short downs, third downs. He does a good job. So I'm not mad at him. What I am mad about is, can we please just sign Nick Westbrook-Akina? Can we just sign NWI, please? All this dude does is score touchdowns. And he has been good for us for like 3 or 4 years now. Can we please just give this brother a long-term deal? Paid it. I'm not saying he's obviously not on the A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson level, obviously. But damn, man, come on. This dude has been I think he's got 6 straight games with a touchdown. Like, come on. What are we doing? But the team played well. And NWI had a touchdown. I think it was like a 40-something plus yard touchdown in yesterday's game. I'm telling you, the dude is nasty. And he's been nasty for a while. It was an overall good team game. Good team win. The coaches were happy. Now, our special teams still ain't it. Still not it. Okay? I'm not sure if it's the coach that needs to go. I'm not sure if the players just aren't taking it seriously, but you can lose games and you can win games through special teams. And the special teams has been a problem of ours all year. And we've got to get better. But hopefully we'll get there. Our defense struggled a little with deep passes. Amani Hooker's been out. Snead is on IR. So, we have rookies in, but Browning Jr. played. I'm telling you what, man, he's had to have been working with Snead because he looks great and he plays well. And I'm excited to see him in the future and see how he grows, especially when we get other, parts of this defense back, some rookies that we have a lot of high hopes for. I think a lot of it had to do, too, with the game yesterday, with Stroud just having a tough day. 2 interceptions, sacked 4 times. He did have 2 touchdowns, but it just, even though I'm a Titans fan, I still got to be realistic. The team just kind of seemed a little disjointed. I'm not sure if, maybe they overlooked the Titans because the Titans are, just because they won yesterday doesn't mean that they're still not the second worst team in the NFL, because they are. I think they maybe overlooked them, and that can happen, especially with divisional games. There's a lot of nonsense with, the Texans and the Titans. The Titans used to be in Houston, which are the Houston Oilers. The Houston Texans franchise feels like they should have the Houston Oilers, history and everything with them, and, but so a lot of nonsense. But hey, I'm happy for my Titans. Okay. I'm happy that we're showing fight. I'm happy that we are doing everything we can to show that we still want to play football. This last team, and this one pisses me off because this player crushed me in fantasy this week. I needed to win this week, and Saquon Barkley decides that he's going to go out and just drop a bomb on everybody. Why you did that to me, Saquon? If y'all don't know, Saquon went out there and, just had over 300 yards total for him. Just him, not the offense, just him. Rushed for 255 yards, had a 60 burner touchdown, 70 burner touchdown. It's cool, Saquon. You just out here doing big things. I definitely believe Saquon Barkley should be in the MVP race. What's going to kill me is Saquon is probably going to win the MVP just because Lamar's not playing all that great. I do know they love to give it to quarterbacks. They'll probably wind up giving it to Mahomes now that I think about it. But not that I don't want Saquon to have this, but if you didn't give Derrick Henry the MVP when he rushed for 2,000 yards, how could you even consider giving it to another running back if they don't rush for 2,000 yards? That's all I'm saying. Eagles got the win, beat the bricks off of the Rams. I ain't even write the score down because I think it was 39-19 or something like that. Saquon A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a good game. Jalen Hurts had a good game. That offensive line was moving people everywhere. The only person that didn't have a good game, who I needed to have a good game, was Dallas Goedert. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. I digress, though. Philly looks good. I would say Philly could potentially be the best team in the NFC, but right now that's the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions are the best team in football, followed by Kansas City and then Philly. But that's scary. Philly is a scary-looking team. The defense is just overwhelming with Carter in the middle of that defensive line. They did lose Brandon Ingram. He tore his tricep, I believe, so he is out for the season. But you have DeJean. You have Blankenship. You got some white boys back there. Hey, don't look now. You got some white boys and some DBs. Oh, hell, we ain't seen one of them since 1945. But, the team just is playing really well. I'll give that to Philly 100%. The team is looking really, really good. Well, look, guys, before we get into our next segment, I do want to let y'all know, if y'all haven't yet, please go check out Piper and the Hard Times, their new album, Revelations is right here. We're going to have some songs coming off of that album onto the show soon, but make sure you are checking out that album and making sure that you listen to all the songs because it is a great album. So, y'all, listen. Every week, you know that I come with a story that is crazy, over the top. Sometimes it's got to deal with olive oil thieves. Sometimes it's got to deal with stupid-ass people tearing up their expensive-ass cars dressed as the wrong color bear. Okay? But
they got the wrong color.
This week, we have something special for you. We don't just have one nonsense story. We have two. And the second one will be brought to us by none and other the Digital Doctor.
Yeah, man. I heard a story and immediately was like, there ain't no way. And I'm like, well, I guess I gotta tell this story.
Oh yeah, if it's like that, you have to.
It's yeah.
All right, so do you? Because I'm excited to hear yours. I almost want you to go first.
I mean, all right. So, how are you with bugs?
With bugs?
Yeah. Are you afraid of bugs?
Nah, I'm cool.
Do they make you squirm?
Nah. So we getting into it, right?
Insects. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So y'all know we obviously are getting into some bugs, but y'all know what this is. That's right, y'all.
All right.
This is Ain't No Way. And apparently,
Ain't no way.
Apparently, we fitting to hear something about some bugs.
All right, everybody. So, this is an international story. We're going all the way to Peru for this one.
Oh, okay.
So, it's not brand new. I think the story came out last week. It's like Wednesday or something. It's like the 20th. But I just heard it, and I'm like, yo. So, man gets caught in Peru at the airport attempting to leave with hundreds of tarantulas.
Oh, hell no.
And centipedes strapped to his body.
Yo.
Listen. When I heard this, I just squirmed in my seat. So, this is obviously an insect smuggler. And he was leaving Peru. He was a South Korean man.
Oh, he wasn't even Peruvian.
He wasn't even. He was leaving Peru
Jesus.
To go back to South Korea, I think via, like, I don't know, another country already. So this isn't, he was getting on 2 international flights to get back home. And his plan was to sit there with hundreds. And when I say hundreds, 320 tarantulas of varying sizes, 110 centipedes, and 9 bullet ants.
Okay.
And I don't even know what a bullet ant is.
All right, so what a bullet ant is, I'll tell you what a bullet ant is. Okay. Have you ever heard of the tribes from Peru, Brazil, and everything, and they stick their hand in the glove?
The glove.
Those are bullet ants.
That's a bullet ant. Oh, my God. So he had 9 of them.
So wait, give me those numbers again.
So 320 tarantulas. And there was a certain number that were like large, like as big as a hand.
Bro, where do you...
And then, but most of them were juvenile tarantulas. He got them from the forest, the jungle of Peru.
But where do you even, like, okay, now look, I'm not trying to be stereotypical here, y'all, but this man was South Korean, so let's not act like we don't understand Korean people are small as hell. Okay, what was this, a Yao Ming Korean?
I mean, no, average size Korean. He had them in Ziploc bags and storage containers, like food containers.
Yo, he had them in
Tupperware.
Yo, this dude
with like
had
2 belts. They were all strapped
friends.
around his torso with 2 belts. There are no pictures of this man, but I'm assuming he's just a Korean guy, what you would imagine.
Yo,
Oh yeah, via France. So he was going to France, then Korea.
So did we ever get any?
And so this is the most gut-wrenching part. They caught him because his jacket was squirming around. They said they caught him because his jacket was moving around. His clothes were moving around. I'm sorry, but there ain't no way in hell. Bruh. Oh my God.
Yo.
That's a real story that happened.
That can't be real.
That's real.
There's no way that is real.
This man strapped, and they were in like plastic tubes, like stuffed with socks.
All right, so that is easily the most ridiculous. Ain't no way. Even the one I got this week. Shit, I should have went first.
Yeah. 110 centipedes is what's got me. How many legs is that? Just crawling.
I don't even know how many legs are on a centipede. Too many,
bro.
There's too many.
Bro.
You know what's crazy is even through all of that, I'm cool with the spiders. I don't like centipedes, but I'm cool with them. Bullet ants.
Tarantula, a big hairy tarantula.
I'm cool with it, bro. Out in the desert.
And they were called there were some crazy the blue leg bird eater tarantula.
A bird eater.
Yes.
But you know how big that tarantula is?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. They said a lot of there was a few of them were as big as a human hand.
But that's the bird eater, bro. Look, you ain't even got to put it up, but look up the picture of a bird eater. That tarantula is massive.
Yeah.
And he had how many of them things with him?
Oh, he had hundreds of tarantulas.
Yo,
over 300 tarantulas.
Yeah. I don't he must have just had sandwich bags full of baby tarantulas.
Bro, there's no way.
Dude, I should have went first because that is the most ridiculous.
There's absolutely
there you go.
way.
Yeah.
That I'm getting. Oh my.
Those bird eaters are massive, dude.
Oh my God. So most of them were this.
I don't care. That's too damn big.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. Sorry. If you're just listening to this, we're just looking at tarantulas.
We're just at this point we're so mind blown that this is now turned into National Geographic.
But get this though. Imagine if he got on. Imagine being the person sitting next to him.
Yo. So you're on.
First of all, how long of a flight is that?
You're on the plane, and then all you hear from the background is, "I'm tired of these on this plane."
Oh my God! Oh my God! No, all you hear is crawling.
Yo, next thing you know,
you
look
go
over
and
out
his
your window.
Shoulders
you got 18 centipedes. Just
oh God. Yeah.
And the bullet ants just biting the hell out of everybody.
That's my first. Ain't no way.
Yo, you came in with a banger.
Pretty gruesome, if you ask me.
Yo, I should have went first. I should have went first. I don't even want to tell my story no more.
Bugged out. No, tell it.
You know what? This is like a campfire where everybody's telling stories and somebody tells some crazy shit, and I'm just I don't even.
It's your turn.
I don't even want to go anymore.
Go ahead.
I'm just I'm just going home.
Apparently, it's not. It's not. There's a huge animal or insect smuggling situation out there. In December of 2001, authorities in Colombia seized 232 tarantulas, 67 cockroaches, 9 spider eggs, and a scorpion with 7 of its young, all hidden in a suitcase. That was in 2021.
What the hell is wrong
That's
with
even
people?
Crazier. But at least it was in a suitcase.
Yeah, right. This had him on him.
This man had him strapped to his body like cash.
Sir, do you realize your entire torso?
Like Wolf of Wall Street. They trying to get it's just. Oh my God. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm
ready.
So we're gonna bring it down a little for y'all. All right, because
The terror is over.
So the reason I need you, Louis, on this is because you're in the graphics art world. You do artwork and things like that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I like to think of myself as
what would you consider to be an obscene amount of money to spend on a piece of art?
That's an interesting question. It's all relative. I mean, if something.
I'm glad you said it's all relative. That was.
Obscene. I mean, what does obscene mean?
$6.2 million.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
The art.
It's. You know what the piece of art was?
Wait. Don't tell me. Let me guess. It was a drawing on a napkin.
Nope. Here, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't even anything drawn.
A glass box. Was it a sculpture?
Nope.
Was it NFT?
No. That wouldn't even make the.
That already happened.
Yeah.
That's also ridiculous.
That wouldn't even. No.
All right. I don't know.
All right, you ready for this?
What?
Banana duct taped to a wall sells for $6.2 million at auction.
God. I have heard of this piece.
So it's
but did it sell again? Wait a minute. How old is this story?
This is from.
I've heard of this.
November.
Because it was all over social media.
This was 21 November of 2024. So this is a week ago.
So somebody sold.
But get this, right? This is what is. First off, the fact that somebody out there has enough money to spend $6.2 million on a goddamn banana pisses me off.
Oh my God.
Second, I'm mad that I didn't think to duct tape a fruit to a fucking wall.
Was it organic?
I don't know, right? So this is what we get.
God.
And this is the other part that so a banana duct tape to a wall has sold for $6.2 million at an auction in New York. The conceptual art piece called Comedian. I'm going to punch whoever did this in the face.
Is that what it's called? Wait, was it a real banana? Or
yeah. Because this. Get this. Okay. It became a viral sensation after Italian artist whatever debuted it at an art. In 2019.
Okay. So he just sold that,
bruh. He just duct taped a new banana to a wall.
That's what it was. He released it, and that's what I was seeing. So you're telling me this man got $6 million for that?
6.2. And then get this: the person that bought it, right, is a crypto person.
You gotta pay taxes on that, right?
I have no. I hope he does. I hope they take 80%. You jackass.
So
it's a banana duct tape to a wall. Some crypto guy buys it for $6.2 million. First thing he says he's gonna do is eat the damn banana. But you could have went to the grocery store and got a banana for 45 cents.
Oh, they washing money, yo. I don't know what that's something weird. Yo, what?
I think the guy who bought the banana.
I mean, what else are you gonna do though? It's gonna go bad. You eat the banana.
But I think the guy who bought that damn piece of art needs to be sitting with the jackass that tried to smuggle 300 fucking spiders.
Wait, here's my thing though. He released it in 2001. It can't be a real banana then. It's not the same piece of art.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because this says 2019.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. And then he just so it can't be a real banana.
So festival goers tried to make out whether the single piece of fruit stuck to a white wall with silver tape was a joke or cheeky commentary on questionable standards among art collectors. Well, they proved that you art collectors are jackasses. I can't pronounce that auction house.
Consumable art. It's genius, really.
Yeah, but it's genius. That's kind of like that. What was that?
I'm trying to give the guy a benefit of the doubt.
Did you see that story about the artist who created like this red balloon picture or whatever, and when it was sold, there was a shredder built into the frame, and as soon as the art was sold,
yeah, it was a Banksy.
Was it a Banksy?
It was a Banksy.
Okay. I don't know who the hell Banksy is.
As soon as it sold. He's a very famous street artist. As soon as it sold,
He put it through the shredder.
it was like in the bottom of the frame. Yeah, it had like shredded, and it just shredded outside. But I think it shredded it halfway, and it's hanging, so it's still all connected, and that's so it's still a piece of art. Then here's the crazy thing: one day someone might spend $6 million on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Well, I mean, some Banksies are already going for that, right? Because he's got,
Right.
Because he's an English artist, right?
I'm not sure where Banksy is from originally.
Fuck, I don't know. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I know. But y'all, listen. What I want y'all to do is I want y'all to, in the comments below, spam it. Everything. Ain't No Way will be on TikTok here in the next few days. Comment. Obviously, I'm gonna lose, but I want to know who had the better Ain't No Way. Okay.
Oh no, let's not.
No, I gotta know. I gotta know. I want to know.
Listen, if this is gonna be a competition every week, I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna do some real.
Y'all hear
research.
this? Y'all hear him? Y'all done seen some of the shit I done came up with. Like I'm fitting to come up with something better than bear suits and olive oil. Okay,
that was wild.
The olive oil one.
That was wild. And did you know I found out more information on that story? Let's circle back. See, we got update on last week's Ain't No Way. So apparently they did it with 3 or 4 different cars, and it was in the same driveway. So apparently they just scratched up the Rolls Royce, pulled it out the drive, recorded it, all that, pulled it out the driveway, pulled another car, did it again. It's the dumbest thing.
That makes last week's shit even more ridiculous.
Dumber.
It got even dumber.
So that was a good story. That was crazy.
That one was. And this one I saw, and I was just like, something. Louis does
That's
art.
Wild,
this I'm gonna bring this up, but now y'all ain't got to tell us whose was better.
That's sick. That's sick, bro. It's 6 million. How many people can that feed?
6.2, and you bought a damn banana.
That's sick.
Just ridiculous.
How many homes could that build? How many shelters?
A lot.
How many people could you clothe and house with that?
Exactly. Y'all hear this? He's speaking facts. If y'all got $6.2 million to spend on a banana, just send it to us here at the Full Blitz.
Yeah, send it. We need investors.
But look, y'all don't have to tell us.
The world a better place.
Y'all don't have to tell us whose story was better. Just keep rocking with us. But what we do want y'all to do, just like last week,
tell us some stories, though. Give us some.
Email us. We'd love to have some stories.
We want to add a listener section to Ain't No Way.
Absolutely. And it still is out there. If you send us a story at the email, thefullblitz@gmail.com, and it is a personal story, and it makes it way onto the show, we will send you the very first Ain't No Way hoodie from the Full Blitz. I want one so bad, but I'm not making one. I'm giving y'all an opportunity to send us a story so we can get you that one, and we will even customize it and put the number 1 on the upper part of the hoodie, so everybody knows it is the first one. Okay,
that's hard.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's y'all better stick with us, because we ain't doing nothing but getting better, baby. But that is Ain't No Way for this week, y'all. So, closing out the show, as always, we're going to hit y'all with the quick hitters, give y'all the updates on some of the other games that happened throughout the NFL. Hey, Detroit does what they do. They handled Indy easily, 24-6. Tua and Waddle had a fantastic day as they downed division rivals, the Pats, 34-15. New quarterback, same old results. Mayfield destroys the G-Men 30-17, but if you listen to Malik Neighbors, the first round rookie wide receiver, he said it ain't the quarterback. The quarterback wasn't a problem. Okay, Daniel Jones was released from the New York Giants earlier this week after asking for his release after being benched. He did clear waivers today, and there are rumors that he could sign with the Dallas Cowboys. Again, those are just rumors. All right, but what's not a rumor is Bo Nix is doing his thing in Denver, getting real comfortable in that Sean Payton offense as they down the Las Vegas Raiders 29-19. Green Bay beats an injury-filled San Francisco team. No Brock Purdy, no Bosa, no Williams. I mean, they are just beat up at every aspect and at every level of that team. So Green Bay gets the big win, 38-10, and Seattle takes the NFC West lead as they defeat the Arizona Cardinals 16-6. That is your quick hitters for the week. Y'all, we appreciate y'all so much. We appreciate the subscribers that we have right now. We appreciate all the comments that we're getting. Please make sure to keep those coming. Share it. Tag people. Let them know that this show is where you need to be to get all your sports information. And, of course, to get your wacky ain't no way nonsense if you're into bugs or $6.2 million art. But we appreciate.
Yeah, I hope everybody thinks about all those spiders and centipedes.
It's so childish. Hey, just know
Sleep
if you're
tight.
listening to this podcast before you get on a plane, make sure to check the person next to you. If their chest is moving, it might be bugs.
Check for spiders.
Check for spiders. Yo, they're gonna have to put a new sign up at the TSA. Yeah. Take off all metal belts, shoes, and 8-legged insects that you may have.
I mean, jeez.
This is ridiculous. But guys, seriously, we appreciate all the love and support. Keep it coming. Keep rocking with us because we are only getting better. Until next week, guys, peace and love.
Peace. Holla, holla, holla.